This is Dan from Action Figure Magic, and here we have a Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Ninja Force, the dynamic duo Slice and Dice. They are Cobras, so they are somewhat of the evil ninjas, but they are amazing. If anyone is a collector of the classic, the original G.I. Joes, these were from the Ninja Force, which had some like spring action loaded movements. They would kick their legs, they would chop. I was not always a huge fan of that. I love the designs of them, but to me the movement of them made them less mobile and less articulate in other parts. So I am glad that these are fully articulated G.I. Joe classified figures. So now we'll get all that range of motion for Slice and Dice that we never quite previously had. And you can see that these guys are chock full of weapons and accessories. We've got some masks in there. So it is going to be a good time. So let's get them right out. First, let's start with the man himself, Slice, donning the classic red. Then we've got our purple chopped hand Dice, which these guys are perfect designs off the original figures. And I love these guys. As soon as they announced these guys, I'm like, these guys should be pre-ordered. And that's exactly what I did. And I cannot wait to see what weapons I'm going to put with them. They come with all their original weapons, like that would come in the figures. And I think they come with some bonus things that can slide into their arms and holsters. You can see that on Slice, he's got some various spots, like on his wrist, you could put a weapon in there. On his back, you could put a weapon. And just the articulation is exactly what you would expect, not only for a G.I. Joe figure, but also for a ninja. We got a pretty nice ab crunch on Slice. I was thinking it might have been a little bit impacted by his, I guess, girder that he's wearing, just to, keep himself in all the right places. And now let's take a look at our Dice figure, who also has some nice little accessory wear on, like a little loincloth. He comes with the chopping hands, which I really like those. And the mask design is perfect. He's got his long flowing, I don't know what they are, ties in the back that just look amazing. They're flowing in the wind. And I just love these chopping hands. Unfortunately, I will probably have to take them off to put on the accessories because he's a ninja, so we need something to do a little stabby with. So the chopping hands I'll probably use for some stop motions, but not necessarily for display. And that brings us to the hands and the heads and all the bonus accessories that we're going to be going through, and there's a ton. So Dice comes with a unmasked head and a nice dragon blue mask, and then Slice comes with this really cool metallic looking, I don't know how to describe it. It almost looks like a bug with like those little mandible claws coming out of the mouth. So I don't know. I like it. I do have to admit I like the original classic design of them a little bit better. So I'll probably put on the masks, but ultimately display them with their originals. And that unmasked head is actually really cool. It's just you don't usually see Slice and Dice with unmasked faces. So to have one that you could put on there is pretty awesome. So, and that the design of that dragon mask is pretty incredible. One of the things I love about G.I. Joe Classified is their attention to detail is just so much fun. They also come with a really cool disguise, a cloak and a hat that he could put on and just stroll into market, and then no one will know who he is. Like, hello, how are you? Who are you? Me? Why, it's your friend Slice. Wow, I didn't recognize you. So you can do things like that. So I don't know. There's not too many G.I. Joe figures that come with disguises other than Zartan. So I really like this cool little hat that can go on. It's not one of the original accessories that he came with. So this is really a brand new design that the Hasbro team decided they wanted to upgrade them a little bit. Maybe give us a little surprise and a fun new accessory. So for my purpose, I think I'm not going to display him with it, but I can definitely use it for some stop motion. So I will do that. It also comes with this little belt that has some nice throwing knives on there. So if the watermelon are too far away, he could toss them and teach that watermelon a lesson or two. And since we already had the head off to get the cloak off, we might as well take a look at the other mask of Slice, which we saw it, but I really like this original, cleaner, just metallic mask look, because that's the Slice I know and love. All right, what do we have next? I think we've got ourselves some hands. So these are going to be the gloved hands of Slice. So he's got a chopping hand similar to what Dice has right now. Then he's also got a punching hand that he can, give someone the fist bump to or throw rocks, because so they got the rock, paper, scissor hands, or no scissor hands, they got the rock and paper hands. So a little bit limited as far as gameplay. You pretty much know what you're up against. And then he's got these really cool hook swords, which the original figure came with. And these are awesome. I could already say these are the weapons that he will be getting displayed with, because to me, these are the weapons that our Slice should have. So these are just so cool. As far as a ninja goes, this is a deadly weapon, and getting him into his hands, since he does have trigger hands, which I guess they all have those trigger hands so you can put the guns on them, but I don't know, to hold the swords with the trigger hands, it doesn't make for the tightest of holds, but these do pretty well, so no concerns there. Then they've got these punching spike hands that he could hold on to. I'm not a huge fan of how these fit into the hands. I know like Nunchuck came with one and I just didn't like it, the claw. And you could either put it, they'll grab onto it, and I don't know, it just doesn't look like, I don't know, it looks cheesy to me. So I'm not a huge fan of these accessories that have that arm bar that you hold on to, because it just doesn't quite fit right. So I'm going to put those off to the side. But all of the other accessories that they came with are pretty amazing. Like this little Sai right here. So if he wants to pretend to be Raphael, which is why he's wearing red, likely his favorite Ninja Turtle, then he's got two little shorter knives that can, I guess they're either big knives or tiny swords, but either way, we can put them in his backpack, his little sword knife holder. So we'll slide those in there so we could just reach up and take him out. Or actually, they kind of make a scissor in the back. So if he is playing rock, paper, scissor, there we go. He's got his weapons that he could just pull them out and be like, ah, scissor. And then Dice would be like, ah, I threw paper. And then he cuts his hand off, which you only played that game once. So not really the best of games to play if you're a ninja and you play for keeps. So there is our Slice. This guy is incredible. I don't know which of the two I like better, but let's figure it out and let's go take a look at our Dice figure. He comes with the hands, a punching hand similar to Slice, and then the trigger hand so he can hold his weapons. So we are unfortunately going to have to take off those chopping hands, which are amazing, and put on our trigger hands so we can accessorize our ninja up. So we've got one hand off, and like I said before, if you're playing rock, paper, scissor, and he uses his sword, and he just cuts off your hand. It's like, oh, why would you do that? And like, I'm sorry, I thought that's how you play the game. He's like, you buffoon! It's figurative, and you took it literal. And then they ninja fight, but he's got one hand. Now he's got no hands, so he's probably not going to win that fight. So actually, that's cool. So his arm guards do slide on off very easily. So if you want to take those off, put them on another character, you could very easily do that. But let's keep them on by putting his hand back on, which everyone knows the real reason why humans have hands is to keep their arm guards on. So we're going to make sure that stays on so that we can keep with the anatomy. All right, so we've got our hands now on, and now we got to say, which weapons do we want to give our friend Dice? And I would say he's got two choices. So let's take a look at them. They are all awesome. So I don't want to spoil it unless you already know what's in there. But ultimately, there's this cool guy, which is a kind of like a staff with a blade on the end. You can use this for posing. It's got these fine kind of feather embellishments on there, or these really amazing axes. And I guess when I describe them as a staff thing versus really amazing axes, you already know where my loyalty is going to go and where I'm kind of biased. He's going to get these axes. These are incredible, so I'm going to just put them right on there. The staff is cool, but he's got a double-handed axe, so he can just swing away, Slice does some slicing, and then with the axes, he'll step in and do some dicing. Makes a great salsa. They are a deadly duo when it comes to the salsa. And then, there we go. The one hand is not holding it great because of the whole trigger finger thing, but, all in all, pretty amazing. Love the accessories, and I would say these are probably two of the coolest G.I. Joe classified figures I think I've gotten recently, so I am very happy with the design on these guys. Definitely, if you get a chance, pick them up. They are incredible. All the bonus heads, all of the bonus hands, all of the weapons. These guys are just amazing. Probably the coolest double pack I think G.I. Joe has put out there, especially just two top quality 10 out of 10 figures. And the costumes, I'm just super happy with them. and they're amazing for stop motion. So all in all, a win. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.